A very good morning from Trent Bridge. Apologies for the weather, apologies for the short delay, but we are due to get underway in about 3 minutes' time. So, good morning and welcome to today's cast. The Blaze playing host to Surrey women in a game that promises to be quite tasty. There's been some really good games between both these sides across the course of the season. You'll see on your shot there Sarah Bryce fully padded up with Georgie Boyce there waiting to go out and bat. Surrey won the toss and elected to field. Probably the sensible move given the weather that is around. We've had lots of showers this morning, covers on and off, but a couple of start times that have been pushed back, but we are due to start at 25 past 11, and I'm delighted to say we've got Sam Dallin joining us. Very good morning, Sam.
Hello, good morning. I was just trying to work out if it was still morning, because it feels like we've been sat around for a while, doesn't it? It is. The floodlights are on. You can see alongside the two batters the social media team there as well, ready to capture some content, the all-important moment where they wander out into the middle. I just get the feeling it's going to be a frustrating day. I was just having a look at the forecast there. Sunshine and showers, probably more showers until we get to a little bit later on. So what we probably want to hope for is that we're not at a stage where it's too wet at the point it's due to clear up a bit later. But I mean, we could spend all day looking at forecasts and they all say something different, don't they?
Yeah, we could indeed. What we do know is the two playing 11s, and we will run through that for you just now. So, Blaze shaping up with Sarah Bryce and Georgie Boyce opening the bat. Catherine Bryce expected in at 3. Orla Prendergast back as the overseas player in at 4. Georgia Elwis, ever present this year, at 5. Michaela Kirk coming in at 6. Ella Claridge in at 7, and then bringing up that lower order, Lucy Hyam 8, Kirsty Gordon the skipper 9, Grace Ballinger 10, and Cassidy McCarthy 11. Surrey women, they shape up with Bryony Smith, Kira Chatley, Alice Capsey, the England international, Alice Davidson Richards, Paige Schofield, Kalia Moore, Alice Monaghan, Phoebe Franklin, Alexa Stonehouse, Danielle Gregory, and Courtine Coleman. So we look like we've got some play at last.
Huzzah!
The lights are on. Neil Mallander is at the Stuart Broad end. He's just having a chat with, or handing the ball to skipper Bryony Smith. Alexa Stonehouse is going to start from the Stuart Broad end. Left arm over the wicket. Sam Dallin is going to take us away with the first ball.
Oh, I was about to say a good start. And I can still say it's a good start, but it's a good start for the Blaze rather than Surrey. What should have been a dot ball was just let through the legs by Monaghan there. A little bit of rustiness, maybe not so much cricket played for some of the girls over the last month. We can come on and talk to about that a little bit later. But Georgie Boyce up and running with a boundary.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that, won't she? She's had she's been in and out the team, hasn't she? And she's been up the order, down the order, depending on the availability of the very big squad that the Blaze have got.
Well, likewise, this Surrey squad, isn't it? We did the T20 game, didn't we, earlier in the season, and trying to work out who is going to play for Surrey is a bit like picking lottery numbers, isn't it? They've got such depth, they're such an impressive side all round.
And you could say the same about the Blaze squad with the number of England internationals in their squad as well. You know, this is a very different opening partnership to what we've seen so far this season, isn't it?
Should just be one. I think Danny Gregory down there to keep it to 1. It is indeed very different, but again, that's the gap, isn't it? It feels like so long since there's been any 50 over cricket. It almost feels like the start of a new season, albeit these last couple of games are the ones that have plenty riding on them.
Yeah, I do enjoy this type of time of the season. I know the football season's just gotten started, and if you're follower of rugby, that's starting to get going as well.
Pulled away nicely. Too short. Might have been Sarah Bryce's first delivery, but she isn't going to miss out on that. There is a deep square leg, there is a fine leg, but Bryce just steered it, didn't try and overhit it, right in between the pair. A couple of boundaries already for the Blaze.
Yeah, you can't bowl short to Sarah Bryce. She's very good with that horizontal bat square of the wicket on both sides of the wicket as well. Yeah, I just feel in September you get a bit of a bonus. The season just goes on so much longer than it used to. It feels like you get that extra bonus of cricket going deep into September.
Pulled again, fielder out there, chance of a catch, and it's taken. It's a brilliant catch as well. I'm not sure Alexa Stonehouse or Sarah Bryce can believe it. It was muted celebrations from Stonehouse, who just sort of stood there with her hands over her mouth. Bryce will trudge off. She got it right out in the middle. Unfortunately, it went straight into the hands of the fielder at deep square leg, and the Blaze have lost.
Unexpected. Another short ball catch above the head.
It's Kalia Moore, I think, out there. I looked like initially when Bryce struck it, I thought that's going straight to her. Then for a period in the middle, we thought, no, that's going to just clear her. And then she made it look relatively simple.
And Kalia's not the tallest of people. So a great grab. Will that be a moment in the game we look back on that we say swings the game? Because it's the small margins at this business end of the year that can mean the difference between a home draw in a playoff, making it through to a final, qualifying in the first place. So Sarah Bryce departs, Catherine Bryce enters the fray.
What an interesting first over. Started well, but there was a boundary because of a misfield. Then a couple of not so good balls, one of which Sarah Bryce put away, the other she fell to. She's back of a length here. Alexa Stonehouse, that's not a great throw. Little bit sloppy from Surrey first up. I think by their high standards they'll almost be a little bit disappointed with what they've just produced, but they have picked up a wicket, 9 for 1.
Yeah, it's all happening here at Trent Bridge. The lights are on.
We are home.
Thankfully we are at home, aren't we? Because we've had a couple of rain affected games here at the home of the Blaze and Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club. So it's good to be back covering cricket here at HQ. So Tilly Courtine Coleman is going to open the bowling from the Radcliffe Road end. She's a left-arm orthodox bowler. Of course, been in and around England A, England under-19 squads. Highly thought of. High potential left-arm spinner.
Yeah, she had a wonderful year last year, wasn't it? No one really knew who she was. And so you had that element of surprise, didn't you? And this year it's felt like a little bit more difficult. And obviously Surrey have got a very strong squad.
She's in now, and she took a return catch, has she? Oh, it's not quite carried. Leading edge there from Georgie Boyce. Diving forward in a follow-through. Must have fell just short from her reaction there. Down the leg side this time, and umpire Neil Pratt will signal a wide. She gets through her overs very quickly as well, Coleman. On the money this time, back foot punch from Georgie Boyce. It'll be cut off at mid-off. There'll be no run. Just holds up in the pitch, that one. Boyce just checking a shot. Cutthroat playing off the back foot so far when she can. Off the back foot again. She's going to get this one through. There's boundary rider Kalia Moore out there at cover in front of the rope, so just be the single. Tidy start from Courtine Coleman. Obviously very accustomed to bowling in the power play. I'm going to come to you for some intel in a minute, Sam, because I think you're going to be better at working this out than me, because we've got a 48 over game now.
No.
You're going to inform everyone if there's any changes to bowling allotments and power plays, as Courtine Coleman's on the money here to Catherine Bryce, who just turns it into leg side, and there'll be no run.
I can do the bowling allotments off the top of my head. I reckon there'll be 3 10s and 2 9s, unless anything really funky happens. But I'll have a look at the regs.
Last ball of the second, lapped by Bryce. She's got it fine. It's going to run up towards the pavilion that's currently under construction. It'll hold up, so it'll just be the 2 runs. Gets Catherine Bryce off the mark. So that's the end of the second. The Blaze are 13 for 1.
Yeah, decent start from TCC, as she's commonly known, playing only her second game this year, third game this year, just the 1 wicket from 20 overs. She had a really good first season last year, but struggled to get in the side and then struggled to replicate it. People knowing a little bit more about her, still very young. I think she's only 17. She was 16 last year, born a couple of years after Tammy Beaumont's England debut.
Wow.
There's a sign of her age, and we've got Stonehouse and Blue Skies. Placed by Boyce. It's a chase on. Oh, it just teased a couple of fielders. That was about timing, not about power. It might be called a power play, but Georgie Boyce didn't need to hit that one. She didn't overhit it. And Bryony Smith gave chase. Teased her all the way. Couldn't quite get there, though.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stroke. But it just shows you, despite all the weather we've had as that autumnal switch has flicked this week, it ran away quickly, didn't it?
And she's been given LBW. She pitched one up, Alexa Stonehouse. It's been a real mixed bag from her. It's been a mixed bag from Georgie Boyce as well, and that's twice we've seen it. Blaze players, both openers, have hit a boundary, and the following ball have fallen to Alexa Stonehouse. That was almost the first delivery she'd pitched up for a while. Trapped Georgie Boyce, who trudges off, having made 10, and the Blaze are 17 for 2.
Yeah, I was slightly surprised when Neil Mallender raised his finger, but we're going to look at the replay now, and that will give us a better indication. Oh, it's decked back, and it's hit her on the knee roll in front of middle. It looked more offside from the angle we are at here in the Radcliffe Road end, but I think that's a good decision from umpire Mallender.
Yeah, well, the surprise in my voice, it just shows the angle we're at and the height. I thought that was going to be too high. I didn't think there was any chance, which was why I was surprised. But luckily, I'm not out there umpiring. Neil Mallender is, and that brings Orla Prendergast, who is back in the Blazes orange jersey. Brilliant to see her back here at Trent Bridge, but she's got a little bit of work to do. She'd have hoped she probably wouldn't be needed quite this early, given the 11:20 start. 15 minutes in, Orla Prendergast is in, and that suggests it's not going so well for the Blaze.
No, she perhaps may feel at home, given it's mid-teens in degrees and a little bit damp. She might feel at home, like she's back on the Emerald Isle.
Straight off the middle. I don't think Bryony Smith is going to chase that. Races away. 1 ball. You said she was feeling at home? Based on that shot, she's feeling very much at home.
Yeah, she looked at it. You want a low full toss like that. You can drive in the V first up, don't you? It was almost like throwdown practice, but you've still got to put them away. She looks in fine nick based on that early evidence for sure. But as I was saying before, the outfield, despite the weather, it looks still rock hard out there. We've had such a dry summer, haven't we? Square starting to lush up a little bit, but I think the outfield will run away at a serious rate.
Fuller. He's worked it out, Stonehouse. Last couple of balls. The previous one was probably over-pitched, but she started off too short in her spell. It's been a strange spell. 10 balls she's bowled so far, 5 dots, 2 wickets, and she's gone for 17 runs.
So a lot to play for in September in this Women's Metrobank One Day Cup.
Yeah, finals on the 21st down at, I need to get the name right, Utilita Bowl now, is it? I think it has changed. Yeah, the Aegeus is in my head. Should be it's the Rose Bowl, really.
Yeah, that's like the original name, wasn't it? Back in the early 2000s.
Just a tough ground to get to. Oh, that's a beauty. She was looking to manufacture her own width there, Prendergast, but it just wasn't there. In the end, did well to avoid taking the outside edge. 3 overs gone here. Surrey, having won the toss and stuck the Blaze in, will be pretty happy with life because it's a little bit brighter. Floodlights maybe aren't needed right now. And the Blaze are 21 for 2.
So yeah, a lot to play for in September. This is one of 4 rounds left to play. And then first in the standings will play 4th. They'll get a home tie. And second will play 3rd. And second will get a home tie. So the current standings, Hampshire are top of the table with 32 points. Lancashire 31. Blaze 29. And then Surrey are also here 25. Courtine Coleman to continue, bringing Bryce forward now on the front foot. There'll be no run. Paige Schofield doing the fielding at extra cover with 7 on her back. Similar delivery, slightly fuller. Same shot, this time parried by Schofield. Hit slightly harder. She'll get through for a single there. Will Catherine Bryce. So, bit on this game today if we can get it completed, because there's a 4-point difference between Blaze in 3rd down to Surrey in 4th. Can Surrey close the gap or go 1 ahead of them with a bonus point win? Or can Blaze extend that lead on the Surrey women? Slightly shorter this time and cut away by Prendergast, but you can't squeeze it through. And of course there's 3 more games scheduled for today, only 1 taking place at the moment.
You'd never guess where. If you looked at the fixtures, you'd be like, right, there's a couple of games off. Where aren't they playing? You pretty much guarantee that at the Emirates Old Trafford they'd be off, but they're not.
How dare you? But yeah, you're right. You're right. Lancashire are 49 for 4 at the moment after 50. They started on time against Somerset. Couple of dot balls from, or 3 dot balls now from Courtine Coleman to the Irish international Prendergast. So yeah, Lancashire 49 for 4.
Is Emma Lamb playing in that one?
She's not. Cut away, and they're going to get through for a single there. There's a little fumble by Danielle Gregory. So that's the end of the 4th. Blaze 23 for 2. I'll talk you through what's going on at Old Trafford. Alice Clark, she departed for 5. Gabby Lewis, another Irish international, she's departed for 8. Seren Smell came in at 3. She got 17 before she was bowled by Ellie Anderson. And Fee Morris has also gone to the bowling of Ellie Anderson, Court Wilson for 8. So Ellie Threlkeld and Elsa Lister, a Scottish international, are currently at the crease. 49 for 4 there.
Here's Stonehouse.
And what that means is Lancashire are second, they're 31 points, and Somerset are down at 6 in 19 and unlikely to qualify, but it's not mathematically impossible. So depending on how that game goes, that could really shake the table up today. There's a long way to go there, lots of depth in that Lancashire side, so we'll keep an eye on that.
This is a better line from Stonehouse, just giving no width to Prendergast whatsoever. Yeah, Somerset, they're a young side. They've had a difficult summer. They had a difficult T20 campaign. They're going to have a new coach next year as well. Trevor Griffin, who's been there a long time. If you talk about legacy from Western Storm, decided it's time for something fresh. They've got a young bowling attack. They're doing well up at Emirates Old Trafford. Good news for both the Blaze and Surrey. Prendergast being watchful now. He got off the mark immediately with a boundary. Just 1 has come from her next 10 balls. Plenty of time left in the game. Only lost a couple of overs despite starting 50 minutes late. A little bit of a buffer in the playing schedule, which is good news.
And there are 2 other fixtures. Another team will be looking for a new coach, Essex Women. There's Andy Tennant's party company with them. They're playing Hampshire, but they've not got on at the moment. And Warwickshire Women against Durham, and they're currently delayed as well. But again, if you look at the table, Hampshire at the top, playing Essex right down at the bottom. So that'll be points missed based on form for Hampshire if they don't get on there. And Durham 5th and in touching distance of Surrey by just the point against Warwickshire down in 7th.
Steered by Prendergast and a touch of width there, but unable to get it past Alice Monaghan at backward point. You love it, don't you? Love a table, love the permutations. I can see you were probably up late last night trying to work it all out.
Well, just, all the fixtures, there's a clear higher ranked team playing a lower ranked team today. So if everything went according to the form guide or the tables.
Oh, chipped up in the air, didn't get hold of it. Maybe a touch of frustration, or a touch of frustration from mid-on as well. Shies at the stumps, doesn't miss them by much. And it goes back to Alice Capsey, who is clearly bullshiner in chief today. She's got the towel out. It's not too wet out there. We had a lot of rain early doors. There's rain threatened as well. I mean, it depends which forecast you look at. But I think I'll try and keep rain chat to a minimal. You'll be able to see if it's raining, basically.
Yeah, so I have looked at the permutations. I think there's going to be a couple of teams cursing the rain today if they don't get on, because they will feel that they're not easy wins, but like I say, going along with the table and the form guide, that at least a 4-point win that's going to go awry for them. TCC to continue then, drawing Prendergast forward on that one, who just lets the ball come onto the bat and drops it into the offside for no run.
I think as players you can't help but doing that. And then the games they had rained off here in the T20, they'd have been thinking,
Back cut this time, going to do test Callia Moore, who's done outstanding full stretch sprawl there. She's earned her money and a match fee today already, hasn't she, out there?
Okay, she has. I mean, you can't play God, and you never want to be rained off, but if you're given the option as to which games are rained off, you'd probably pick your rivals to be rained off against your nearest rivals, and the games against the side nearer the bottom to play. And I know these are professional sports people. Yeah, they want to play, but that's not how human beings think, is it?
No, not at all. Courtine Coleman in again. Cut away off the back foot into the offside. Callia Moore in the action. She's everywhere so far in these early jousting of this game.
Oh, I like that, jousting. Feel like a medieval knight.
Well, but to that point, Hampshire don't get on. They get 2 points. Takes them to 34. Blaze get a 5-point win here, and they're on 34 points with them. And she's got that one through. Tilly Courtine Coleman has picked up the wicket of Catherine Bryce. Pretty innocuous dismissal, really. Catherine Bryce has got a very tight technique, and she's just pushed forward at that one. It looks like it's skidded on with the arm.
It's turned a bit as well. It skidded and turned and just hit the top of off stump. She was trying to just turn it into the leg side there from Bryce. Brilliant start for Surrey.
Oh. Yeah, just that gentle bit of turn. Catherine Bryce looking to go a bit too square there on the leg side. So, I'm talking about 5-point bonus point wins for the Blaze, and Hampshire not getting on and having a 2-point rain affected shared points. But in the here and now, Blaze are 27 for 3. And a long way from getting to the top of the table by this evening. Alexa Stonehouse with picking up 2 of those 3 wickets. And now Tilly Courtine-Coleman opening her account. So that brings Georgia Elwys in. So Georgia Elwys' first year here at Blaze, having moved from the Artist formerly known as the Southern Vipers. She's in now facing the first ball and solid as ever on the front foot.
Well, didn't have to change colour though, right?
That's true. That is true. That's the end of the 6, Blaze, 27 for 3.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Feels like it with this weather, doesn't it?
And these wickets falling. I'm in one of those jukebox moods today. You'll have to forgive me. Any words you say, you could trigger a song. I'll try and keep them in my head, but I can't promise.
Well, if it rains, we know who to blame now.
Purple rain. Stonehouse. Feels like if there was a fan chant for her, it should be like Nutbush City, you know, the Tina Turner. It goes like cool house, townhouse. You could fit that in, Stonehouse into that, couldn't you? Some Surrey fans out there need to get onto that one, I think. I want to hear it. Left arm option. It's the Yorker. Dug out by Prendergast. Big responsibility on her shoulders, and that of Elwys as well. Still just those 2 fielders out. Short leg side boundary. Deep square leg. Fine leg. Oh, I was going to look up the power play, wasn't I? I'll do it in the next over. Problem is, TCC get through her over so quickly. I barely have time to Google. Been really good from Stonehouse. She picked up those couple of wickets. She was a little bit wayward first up. 2 of her first 3 deliveries, I think, went to the boundary. About 15 dots now. They're going to bring about a change in the field now. Just a little bit of sawdust in those footmarks. We're at that stage of the season when most pitches have been used and have been redone. It's tough for the ground stuff. It's brilliant there's so much cricket. And they're used to it up here at Trent Bridge. I know other sides have potentially struggled with so many more days of cricket. That's all right. Just back of a length there again, but giving no width. That's the key. If you're going to bowl that length, that's got to be your line. Make the batter have to do something.
It looks a fresh deck though, doesn't it? It's just a bit... It'll be greasy on top, a little bit of grease.
Hasn't been used, but it might have been used early, much earlier in the season and sort of been redone. So fresh.
As you say, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 wickets there that are not that old and been used on the square during the 100 and the men's Metrobank competitions.
Can't get that one away. Don't run on a misfield. And you'll know this ground pretty well as well, Alexa Stonehouse. Her time at the Trent Rockets.
Yeah, that's the end of the 7th. So maiden over there, 27 for 3. Yeah, and I think the key here at Trent Bridge today is obviously right across to one side of the square, so it is quite short out on the offside as you look from the Radcliffe Road end, and it is long straight here at Trent Bridge, so keeping the stumps in play, hitting that hard length, asking batters to hit high up the ground will be the message from the bowling coach for sure, as Courtine-Coleman extracts a drive out of Georgia Elwys, who we've seen so much just drop it into gaps on the offside. Takes the single. Yeah, there'll be no value for anything short today. We've already seen a couple of short deliveries dispatched to the boundary. Oh, that one's beat everything. Prendergast shaping to play that off the back foot. And then looks like we've had a little bit of nip and a bit of turn from Courtine-Coleman as she beats the outside edge of the bat list on that delivery. She's in again now, and This one skids on a bit, but it's the same result, beating the outside edge of that Prendergast bat. Whizzing through these overs. In again, and this time she lays bat on that, just square back foot punch for a single.
Think she'd be a candidate for the sharpest maiden over? That'd be a good challenge, wouldn't it? What do you reckon it would take her to bowl maiden? A minute and a half?
Yeah, 80, 90 seconds. Gentle inquiry there from TCC. Quickly turned down by Neil Pratt.
Yeah, she wasn't that interested herself as the bowler. It came from behind the stumps, and she sort of went, yeah, I better ask the question. I don't really convinced.
Just misses the length this time. It's punched into the offside for another single to Elwes. She moves on to 2. That's the end of the 8th. Whizzed through another over there. Blaze 30 for 3.
Stonehouse has her cap on, and now she's taking it off. She's going to continue, and why not? Picked up a couple of wickets so far. Had a brilliant T20 competition. Surrey ending up winning that. Final day on their home ground. 20 wickets in that. Stonehouse picked up, and she's not bad in this game either. Sun's out. It's as nice as it's been. And we're batting outside her crease. And then shuffling towards Stonehouse, trying to put her off her length. Cuts it nicely. And that was really well watched by Monahan at backward point, because it just bounced really awkwardly in front of her. It popped up. It may be half a yard in front of her. It bounced. And it ended up by her chest. Awkward ones, those. Went for the Yorker. Didn't quite get it right. A little tickle of the bat from Elwes. Lovely as a batter when you can just get something on those, turn them away. Guarantee boundaries of the minimum of effort.
Yeah, just gone a bit quiet, hasn't it, here? As the sun comes out, the sun has certainly taken over the floodlights now. A bit ragged from Surrey in this last couple of deliveries.
Better.
I've just been sent the delivery that dismissed Catherine Bryce, and one of my colleagues has challenged me on the gentle bit of turn that I described it.
Well, I didn't like to say.
Well,
it went pitched on leg.
I've actually looked at the replay now.
In your defence, as I always take a single, you were trying to watch the replay and our TV screen just went black at the key moment. So you saw it leave the hand and then saw it hit the top of off.
But the most important thing is the amount of drift she got before it turned. So apologies to TCC for playing down probably one of the best slivers she's bowled in pro cricket.
It was a beauty.
But we own our mistakes here on Blaze TV. And on that note, I should say a very good morning to Tom Brown, the ECB Women's Spin Bowling Scout, for pointing that one out. So thanks for that, Tom.
Well, I think you were testing him, and it shows he's doing his job properly.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Maybe he'll use your description later when he chat to TCC about that. Just send her a little text. That was a lovely delivery, lovely wicket, that little bit of gentle turn you got. End of the over, 35 for 3, 9 gone here at Trent Bridge. The Blaze in a little bit of trouble, having been stuck in by Bryony Smith. With a delayed toss, it rained. We weren't really sure what was happening. Just as they were about to come out for a 11:15 start, naturally, being cricket, there was a little bit more drizzle, but it stopped as quickly as it started. So we started about 11:20. 11 here. We lost a couple of overs. Cut-off time for this innings is 2:29.
So, TTC to continue. She's getting the ball to bite and spit now, isn't she? Asking questions of the batters. Elvis resets, tap of the bat, off the back foot this time. Well in front of square. Bit of work here. It'll be in vain for Callie Moore, who's been brilliant out there on that cover boundary. But first boundary to Georgia Elvis. First time we've seen Courtine Coleman miss a length on the extra short side. Please move on to 39 for 3. Back on the money this time, solid from Elvis. Beats the inside edge of the bat this time. Bit of drift from Courtine Coleman. Padded away into the leg side from Elvis. Cut away again. Straight to the boundary rider this time, so just be the single. 10 gone here at Trent Bridge. Blaze 40 for 3. It's all happening. We've had wind, rain, and now shine. Wickets tumbling. A gentle bit of turn.
That's it, you've got to lean into your mistakes. I like that. Power play is over. Here's the signal. I think we're also going to see the first change of bowling in the game. And it looks to me like Alice Monaghan has taken her cap off and handed it to umpire Malinder. So Alexa Stonehouse is coming out of the attack. A bit left arm seam goes out and a bit of right arm seam comes in. A good start from Alexa Stonehouse. Done her job in that power play. Leaked a few runs, well, 9 runs off the first 4 balls, but after that she bowled 4.4 overs. Took 2 for 12, so I can't really... No, 2 for 14 after that first 4 balls. Anyway, field can spread a little bit. It hasn't spread. Keep the pressure up. Distinctive action of Monaghan's, I beg your pardon. There's a fielder down at third as well, so there's a free outside the ring. Deep square leg. Fine leg. Danny Gregory and a fielder down at third. Mid wicket, couple in the covers, backward point, mid on, mid off, completes the field. It's going to be a wide. Gets her line just a little bit wrong. Nice mini partnership developing between these two.
Quite like this field. Monaghan's got to get it right in terms of the radar, but it's asking Georgia Elvis to play expansively through the offside to get runs, and it's got, if she just strays a little bit straight, she's got fine leg, deep square leg as that insurance policy.
Doesn't get that one right either. Back to back wide, the radar just not on to start with. One wide down the leg side. Tries to compensate, ends up overcompensating.
You can see what skipper is asking of the bowler, can't you? Ball wicket to wicket. Hit the knee roll, trim the bails, ask the batters to hit hard up the ground. Try and build pressure through dots. That's the example there. We often see deep cover go out, don't we? And George Ellis just drops it into that little pocket there and takes the single and starts to accumulate.
And I think at 42 for free, you want to keep the pressure on. Make them hit boundaries. Get them stuck, get them frustrated. Someone else will be getting frustrated right now, and it'll be Monaghan. Just can't quite find her radar. 3 wide, plus the 2 legitimate balls she's bowled. Struggling initially. But yeah, if you allow the batters, when they're in this situation, just to milk 4 or 5 and over for 10 overs, you give them a little bit of impetus back. They're going to get 4 or 5 overs, make them hit a boundary. 4 or 5 and over, make them hit a boundary. Oh, it's close. Just about gets away with that one. I think maybe a touch of benefit from Malander based on what's gone before it.
I think if Elvis had left it alone, then perhaps it would have been a wide. But she's just struggling for a bit of rhythm, isn't she? Is Alice Monaghan. Another one formerly of the Southern Vipers parish.
ADR just going over there to give her a bit of encouragement and mid-off. Tell her to relax. Better length, turned away for a single. Georgie Elwis just, I think, signalling for a chest guard maybe. A little bit of extra bounce. Pitch has been quite bouncy. Those balls that are just back of a length have got up around the midriff. That field spread slightly for Prendergast, so there is that deep extra cover. So there's a big gap between cover and backward point. Oh, gets that all wrong. Helped on its way. All the way for 6. Is it? Umpires aren't sure. Yeah, it is 6. Gone all the way. Not signalled as a no ball, I don't think, but it was a full bunger that Prendergast just helped on its way. It's been a tough start, this, for Monaghan. Let's have another look at that one. Oh, comes out the hand wrong. Probably dips enough in the leg side. Easy pickings for Prendergast. Barely had to hit it. Just used the bat. End of the over. 10 off it. Several wides. Something for Monaghan to think about. 50 for free, 11 gone.
Yeah, she just lacked rhythm there, didn't she, Monaghan?
It wasn't a dancer.
You got to keep them coming all day.
Oh yeah, I've started. So yeah,
you got to own it.
I will.
Yeah, Monaghan just, she kind of dragged a couple down, didn't she? Then she strayed too straight and full on the leg side, and then drag it down on the offside. Just struggling for that rhythm. Someone who's got plenty of rhythm and is ticking these overs off rather quickly is Tilly Coleman. She's bowled 5 overs so far. She's in again. Swept fine by Georgia Elwis. She'll just get the single. Danny Gregory doing the field in its short fine leg.
Do you think they'll try and bowl a 10 through, put the blades under pressure and just say, right, we're 20 overs in and we've barely played an hour?
Oh, pushed onto the leg side this time. It's a great single. Alice Davison-Richards not very happy with herself there. I don't think it was a great run. Yeah. I don't think it would have been out if it was a direct hit because of how well ran and quick Prendergast was. But
no, I think she's annoyed at the fact there was a 1 there, though. Perhaps she didn't quite walk in intensely enough. Because she's not hanging back, right? if you're not on the edge of that 30-yard circle at mid-on, then there shouldn't be one to you.
Well, the other thing is it's not a 30-yard circle, is it, in women's cricket? So you're closer than you think, so it can do you as a batter as well. That misconception. Oh, that one turns
gently.
More than gently. That really squares up Georgia Elwys. Great piece of bowling from TCC. This one straightens as well as Elwys prods at that one, covers it. I've not seen so much spin this year beat the outside half of the bat as we have in this game so far today. She's in once again, turn again, not full enough to test the batter out as Elwys tries to back foot drive that one, but it is the end of the 12th over. So Blaze 52 for 3, Prendergast 17 not out from her 32 deliveries, and Elwys 14 from her 23 deliveries. Courtine Coleman has bowled 6 overs now, no maidens, 1 wicket for 19, including 23 dots.
She's been superb. She's going to be some cricketer. There's a few decent left-arm spinners around in England, but she could well develop into one of the best there's been. Much time on her hands.
And Alexia Stonehouse opened up. She bowled 5 on the bounce, 1 maiden, 2 for 23. But it's Alice Monaghan with ball in hand now.
Difficult first over. That one's chipped up though. Chance for catch and it will be taken. Orla Prendergast has given an easy catch to Kalia Moore down there, who's taken 2 at deep square leg. And Monaghan's second over has started perfectly from her perspective. Orla Prendergast has gone for 17. And the Blaze are 52 for 4.
It's really poor cricket, isn't it?
It's not a good ball, that.
Well, the fielder's there for that, in the sense of if you stray on the pads and the ball's turned square and such a short boundary, it's circa 45 yards out there. It's an insurance policy. It's 1 rather than 4. But Prendergast has decided to elevate the ball and go for the maximum, and has ended up shoveling it as catching practice for Kalia Moore. And in the scenario at 53 for 3 or 52 for 3, it's a poor shot. It's poor game management really from an Irish international. She'll be disappointed as she makes her way back to the shed. So that brings Michaela Kirk out to the crease.
Yeah, certainly much earlier than she would have anticipated, batting down at 6. It's been a brilliant start for Surrey. Came up here 4 points behind the Blaze. Blaze 6 wins, 3 defeats and a tie from their 10 previous games, giving them 29 points. Surrey 5 wins, 4 defeats and a tie. A strong position Surrey have put themselves in. Work to do for the Blaze. Surrey very happy right now. Single down to third. You just wonder if they could have brought third up there. Kept that pressure on. And then you risk giving away the boundary. Courtine Coleman down there.
Interesting, they're happy to give Elwys the single through the offside now, whereas in the first over they didn't do that, but perhaps it's because of how poorly the first over was bowled by Monaghan in a spell.
There is that single. Pushing for 2 though. Not sure they will come back, but it was good running from Elwys first up. Cool was have a look.
It's a real balance, isn't it? Do you keep that extra fielder in the circle?
I think with the score as it is, yes.
You can always push it out for the last 2 or 3 balls of the over, can't you? If you get into the over with 3 dots or just a couple of singles, you can then start to spread the field and say, well, you can have 4 and over as long as we keep taking wickets at this rate. That's
a good bit of work. And backward point by Stonehouse. Yeah, but then again, they probably, if you speak to Surrey, they've got exactly what they wanted. They've got Elwes off strike. They take the extra run for the chance to bowl at Kirk.
We've not seen too much of Michaela Kirk this year. Opportunities have been few and far between.
That's the strength of this Blaze side, isn't it? Similar with Surrey. You think about what Courtine Coleman is doing down the other end with the ball, where she's barely played. One ball shy of the 13th over, 13 of 48. That are scheduled. We lost a couple because there was plenty of rain.
In fact, Michaela Kirk's played one game before today, scoring 12 off 16.
He's got 1 off 4 as the 13th over ends here.
So the engine room for the Blaze mostly back in the shed. So this middle to lower order that we haven't seen a lot of, as you say, Sam, due to the depth of this Blaze squad. They're not only going to get their opportunity, but they're going to have to prove their worth. I suppose we saw that in the 100, didn't we? You see it in T20. If a team gets on a roll and only 3, 4, 5 batters bat, you don't often see 7, 8, 9 get a bat.
Yeah.
They're normally the heroes you need when you need 10 off 6 balls, aren't they, at the end of a game? So
well, their numbers never look particularly impressive, but they're the kind of players you can't just look at their stats because it doesn't tell the story. It doesn't talk about how many games they've seen their team over the line. Not going to be TCC for 10 overs.
No, it's going to be Callia Moore. Now, watched her bowl in the warm-up on a used wicket, and it turned sharply, and we've already seen Courtine Coleman get the ball to do a bit on this fresh deck. So what's she got? Well, she's full, and that one's not going to spin as it's driven into the offside for another single to Georgia Elwes. But a very, very crafty bowler is Callia Moore. Been with South East Stars and now Surrey Women since the inception of the professional women's game. Pulls this one down, it's been given. Neil Pratt's raised the finger. At first I thought it was a gentle inquiry, but it looked very adjacent. And Michaela Kirk's got to go. 55 for 5. The Blaze are in a bit of strife here. Surrey have got halfway through this Blaze batting lineup on a murky day. And it's certainly...
She just got herself in a bit of a muddle there, Michaela Kirk. She wasn't quite sure of what she was trying to do with that ball. In the end, she jabs that bat late. She's playing right across her body. That backswing that she starts almost pointing towards second slit.
But it was that bit of turn and falling over to the offside, wasn't it, from Kirk? And she stood in front of all three. It just, again, it was another innocuous dismissal in the sense that it felt ever so slightly short by the way the batter shaped to go back and across. But as I say, if you bowl full and straight or you keep the wickets in play and you can get the ball to do a bit off the straight, you're going to ask questions in deep, dark September at the end of a cricket season. Yeah,
and it has got darker again, and that's another thing that the Blaze might kick themselves on later on. If it does start raining, they need to stay out there for as long as they can to try and try and push for a result here, even if they can take points away if it rains later on. I know that's a negative way of looking at it, but in this situation, they need to keep them out there, Surrey, as long as possible. What they don't want to do is get bowled out in 20 overs and Surrey knock them off quickly, and then it start pouring down.
Ella Claridge is the new bat, facing up for the 10th time in this campaign. Starts with the dot ball. This is Claridge's 11th game, 10th innings. She's had a couple of not outs, 146 runs, an average of 21. But her opportunities have been few and far between, as well as she lines this one up as well as it turns into the body of Ella Claridge and she pushes it down the ground.
Kalia Moore, 19 wickets last year in the tournament at 23s, but just her 5th this time around. She's not had the opportunity.
Moore, right arm over the wicket once again. This one's turned square leg. Tilly Courtine Coleman in the circle, cuts off the single. So Surrey starting to build a bit of pressure on the new bat. She's a bit of a slog sweeper, is Ella Claridge. Deep mid-wicket is out there. So far she's resisted temptation. She plays with a vertical bat once again. So end of the first over for Kalia Moore. 1 run conceded, 1 wicket. That'll be just what the captain ordered. Plays 55 for 5 after 14.
Very much what the captain ordered. All going Surrey's way right now. Magnificent start. Magnifique. Say magnifique. Monahan, better second over. 1 for 2 off that one. Into her 3rd. Darts were wide. Been a very mixed spell. A bit of pick and mix from Alice Monahan.
Yeah, she just dropped her arm there, didn't she, and just pushed it into the leg side. Really scratching for rhythm. In constant conversation with mid-off there. ADR constantly fidgeting with her sleeves and turning her arms over.
Dug out well. Sears it to the right of Alexa Stonehouse. Good running from Elvis. Realised it was a left-hander at backward point, and therefore she would have to get her body readjusted once she picked it up. Give them that extra bit of room to pick up that single, which means for the first time today, Claridge is going to face a seamer. Takes middle by the looks of things. Said it before, I feel like a broken record. There's work to do for the Blaze here. Cross seam by the looks of things from Monahan. Going to be a wide again. As she turns around, she knew what was coming. She's looking to spear that Yorker in right at the feet of Claridge. Try and trap her LBW early doors, but she's not quite getting it right. There was a little bit of leeway. Surrey in such a strong position.
It's not really the line to bowl though, 'cause she's got a stump high, straightish mid-wicket and a mid on the leg side. So she's straying a little bit too much onto the pads there.
One down to 3rd. Courtine Coleman does the fielding. It looks like, you know when someone's had a shirt but someone else's name is on it, and so you put a bit of tape over it. It looks like that on TCC's shirt, but actually it's just because there's so many letters to get on the back with Courtine Coleman. They're so condensed. There's barely a gap. I was like, who's that wearing one of her shirts? But then I realised it was actually her.
Cost a fortune that now, wouldn't it, at £2 a letter?
Is that what it is these days? Often appeal from Chatley behind the stumps. Bowler not interested. I used to go in and get me Premier League football shirts printed. £3.50 a number, 75p a letter it was back in the day.
I don't know what it is now. I'm surely you can get shirts now where it's sublimated and it doesn't cost, you would think. But I was making that up, £2 a letter. But
probably is though. Inflation and all that.
Inflation, yeah.
I always felt sorry for the players that had double digits on their back, because you'd be less inclined to get it at £3.50 a number, and you've got to save your £1 a week pocket money up. You're not waiting for number 14, are you? Short and pulled, but just be one. I had a chat up to Kirsty Gordon actually for the Wisdom Mag. Was it a month or two ago? Had a nice little interview in there, but she was saying there was a huge moment for her locally quite recently. You know, you tend to see Blaze shirts in and around Trent Bridge now, and there'd been an England international where she'd been here watching with a couple of the girls, and they'd seen some Blaze shirts and caps, which was lovely to see. But then she was in B&Q at the weekend. One just pops off her length, and she turned the corner, and there was a young girl in a Blaze shirt out and about, and like for her, that was a really special moment to see that away from cricket, out of context, to see that they were having an influence, and that young girls living locally coming along supporting the Blaze. So then the next stage is to see when maybe a personalised one with a name and number. And I said, oh, so a bit of Gordon on the back, said they won't want me. Be the Bryces. Or Tammy, won't be me. Misfield by Smith gives them a single. She jarred her knee there as well. She's got a little bit of a limp on. She was watching it. She looked like she was going to swoop. Single to end the over. We'll keep an eye. Not moving freely there, Bryony Smith. 61 for 5, 15 gone.
Yeah, just having a battle with the wicket ends there. Skipper Smith. It's just got a bit dark and gloomy again. The lights haven't come on.
It's due about now. If you look at the forecast, it's about a 95% chance of rain right now. We're currently in that 5%.
It's got cool again, hasn't it? It's normally an indication that the moisture's about to drop. A couple of the ground staff there just leaning against the hover cover just off the roped area at the moment. Calliamore then to continue. This one's driven off the back foot, well in front of square. Great piece of work out there by Alexa Stonehouse. To come back for a second. Sprawling dive from Georgia Elwis. But the umpire's not interested. Just back in time. It was a great two actually. But it got a little bit hairy near the end. Blaze could do without an unforced error of a run out just now. More once again. Just getting it to bite off the surface. Claridge playing it with slightly hard hands, standing tall, but she feels at the ball a little bit, doesn't she?
Early in her innings.
Oh, once again. This one's turned around the corner. Be cut off by deep square leg, or sorry, deep fine leg, and just be the single. Alice Monaghan doing the fielding out there, 66 on her back. She's now trotting to more of a deep square leg. Tilly Courtine Coleman's going to a short fine leg inside that 25-yard circle as Moore is in again and goes deep in the crease. Does Georgia always turns it into leg side? It'll be no run. Moore once again just misses a length. It'll be pulled to that fielder Alice Monaghan at deep square legs. Just the single. So in the main, Elwis just happy to play off the back foot. Claridge has so far been drawn forward on the front foot. She's back on strike now for the last ball this over and just uses that bit of width there. Uses a vertical bat to push it out square for another single. So bit of a rebuild mission here for Blaze as the 16th over concludes. 66 for 5. Still 32 more to go. And have we got some rain?
We have. It's not purple, but it is lashing down. The 95% chance has become 100%.
So the noise you can hear, that's the hover cover. We've got several bare wickets here that perhaps are still to be used in this elongated season as we go deep into September. There's also international cricket to be hosted here at Trent Bridge. So we're going to get an array of covers on now. Firstly the hover cover and then multiple sheets and Hessians and green artificial style mats as well. So while the players rush off, the umpires following behind them. We'll just give you a quick reminder of what's happened so far. Surrey winning the toss and electing to bowl and field. We had a delayed start, kept getting pushed back every 10 minutes, but we eventually got on at 25 past 11, and it's been very eventful so far. Alexa Stonehouse got the early breakthrough, removing Sarah Bryce for just 4. She pulled the ball out for what was destined to be a flat 6, but it was a great catch by Callia Moore. Georgie Boyce departed in the next over, LBW to the same bowler, one coming swinging back off the straight into the pads of Georgie Boyce. Catherine Bryce played round a wonderful delivery from Tilly Courtine Coleman. She was clean bowled for 3, and then Ola Prendergast just clipped one into the leg side aerially, and deep square leg was set for an easy catch. It somewhat was an innocuous dismissal off the bowling of Alice Monaghan. Georgia Ellis is still there. She's 19 not out from her 30 deliveries as she helps the rebuild for the Blaze. And then Michaela Kirk was dismissed LBW to Callia Moore in her first over. Some more spin and wrapping the pads of Michaela Kirk. Ella Claridge has joined Georgia Ellis at the crease. She's 6 not out, and the current partnership is worth 11. So the rain's coming down much harder now as the ground staff start to get a hurry on. So I'm afraid we're going to take a break here as the rain clatters down. Apologies for that. As soon as we've got more cricket, we will be back. Fingers crossed. But until then, bye for now.